ChatGPT is a household word, but more than 1 million devoted users have recently dropped the AI platform and switched to another.
Yeah, the latest buzzword is Claude, a similar AI that's getting a lot of attention and new users. In today's What the Tech, we asked Jamie Tucker to take a closer look at why people are switching and what's different.
But ChatGPT could be the Xerox of AI, meaning that's the name they use, even if they're using another AI platform. But that could be changing as more and more people are using the AI platform called Claude. Claude is built by Anthropic, founded by former OpenAI researchers. It works much like ChatGPT, but recently Anthropic made a decision that drew a lot of attention. The company said it would not allow its AI to be used for certain military applications, putting it at odds with the Pentagon and the Trump administration. And around the same time, ChatGPT said its technology could be used for lawful government and defense purposes. And for some users, that difference alone is reason enough to try something else. But there are some technical differences as well. Claude is known to handle very long documents and complex writing tasks well. Writers and programmers say it's especially good analyzing large amounts of text and data. ChatGPT, on the other hand, has a broader ecosystem. It generates images like the viral caricatures, connects with more apps, and typically responds a lot faster. But many say Claude just seems smarter. When I asked both chatbots about a business idea selling pickle popsicles, ChatGPT encouraged me to think about the idea. Claude, on the other hand, walked through the pros and cons, asking follow-up questions, and then delivering a business plan. Some users claim the newer ChatGPT AIs just seem to agree all the time. Not everyone will abandon ChatGPT, of course. It's still very good. But the AI race is looking less like a runaway and more like a rivalry. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
And Claude just overtook ChatGPT's spot at the top of the app stores.
Some researchers say in the past week, more than 1 million ChatGPT users deleted the app and installed something else.
This is your first